Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to another Throwback Friday. This one's number 64. So today I have, of course, got a couple of videos for you. So come on, let's go and have a nose at the ones I chose this week. Right, so what have I been up to this week? Yes, I have been making poppies yet again, but I'm not declaring them this week. I'm only going to be declaring full boxes from this point on. So at the moment there is 9 boxes sitting above my head, hiding behind a Captain Tom. And if any of you don't know, Captain Tom is this little stuffy above my head. He is a palace guard, so it's not quite Tom's uniform, Captain Tom's uniform, but close enough. So he is my Captain Tom. Right, and then let's think, what else did I do? Lots. Right, I have been a pattern tester this week, and the very first pattern I managed to get finished is this one here. This is a Miko's Yeti. Now that's the name of the pattern, and now the pattern creator for this one is a YOH Crochet, so I will pop a link up here to her video announcing the pattern. Okay, and I'm also going to add a few photos in a minute of Miko's Yeti being a bit crazy. Now with this pattern, he was really nice and really easy to make up, and I think he's really cute. I did change it a little bit, which I said to YOH, I'm really sorry, but I haven't got time to sit there and create the hair as the pattern said. So instead I used a Peter Pan Precious Chunky, and I actually ran 2 strands of this and I crocheted around all of the areas that I wanted fur to be on. But I've decided I won't be using the Peter Pan Precious Chunky anymore, as it's rubbish. Once you've done the work, you sit there and you start going ooh, and you start fiddling with it and sort of trying to move it around, and the fur comes out on your fingers. So for using it for anything other than a toy that's going to sit on the shelf, if you want it for play mobility, don't bother using the Peter Pan's Precious, because it falls apart. And the thing is, I've got some more of this and I was planning to use it in a blanket. That ain't gonna happen now. I still stand by that review on the Peter Pan's Precious. I wouldn't even buy it if it was 25p and in the mega bargain bin. I would walk right past. Right, so my cheeky Yeti from this point on will be sitting above my head, or sitting behind my head if I can get him to stay there. I may end up moving him onto a different block because of course my head blocks him, but we'll just have to wait and see how I rearrange all that yarn to fit him in. Now the next pattern that I finished this week was by Whispers Crochet. It's one of her upcoming patterns. As I said, I'm a pattern tester for her. Now she's not releasing it until later on this month, hopefully, so once she does, I will then be able to show you what I made. It's a bit of a sport really, isn't it? Hold on, let me see what bit I can show you. Now she has said I can show it off, but I'm still a bit iffy about doing that, so here we go. That's it. That's all I'm showing you. I'd like to see if you can work out what it is. And of course I do also have a couple of other bits that I've finished, but I can't show you those either yet, not until the patterns are released. So it has been for me a really good week. There has been 1, 2, 4 items finished, and I'm now testing another pattern for Cheeky Whisper as well. So busy me. Time for non-crochet related stuffs. Right, earlier on in the week, it was actually Cheeky Liam's 4th birthday. Now, my daughter had taken him out in the morning for his morning walk, and I think he thought that we'd forgotten it was his birthday, because after about 20 minutes I got a message from her saying, "Mum, I have an issue." So, "What's that, babe?" says me. The reply back is, "Liam has just urinated on a lady over at the park." Yes, I am laughing, and yes, I know how she felt. He's done it to me in the past. Well, luckily I'd said to her, ask the lady to bag up her clothing and I'd wash it for her, and she said that it was okay. The lady was too busy laughing and thought it was funny, especially considering the shock on my youngest's face. Now, my youngest is like 16 years old, so it's not like I'd sent him out with like a 7 or 8 year old. She's 16 years old, and she was absolutely and utterly mortified. Now, I did say I know how she feels about that, because he'd done that to me when he was, well, not actually on me, but he'd done it when I'd taken him over the field when he was about 5 or 6 months old. He'd decided he took a disliking to a gentleman that was on the field, a bit worse for wear, glug glug, and the wife of the poor chap was trying to get him up and get him home, and he was having none of it. He decided he was going to sit there and sunbathe. So Liam had cocked his leg again and urinated on this gentleman, and that lady found it highly hilarious as well and said that it actually made her husband smell a bit better. So, but thankfully for us, he hasn't done it in between these 2 incidents, and hopefully he won't do it again. But oh, little monster, absolute a monster, but such a funny story. So I'm gonna just put a picture up now with Liam with one of his birthday presents for this year, because yeah, we do spoil him a little bit. He loves empty plastic bottles, so giving him an actual toy, he normally only gets them for Christmas and birthdays, or if we do a car boot, he gets to choose a stuffy to chew up. Right, so on Friday morning, husband needed to borrow my car keys, because his car is in the garage. Now, the night before, I'd ended up sleeping on the sofa because he was snoring and shaking the windows. It was too loud and I couldn't sleep. So I'd come downstairs and I'd moved all of the stuff that was on the sofa, which is all the crochet related stuff I normally have in a blanket, so that if needs be, I can just pick up the corners and just move it. So that's what I've done, and I thought my keys were in there, on that blanket or in the pile of blanket, because during Thursday I had mowed the back garden and mowed half of the front, and then the batteries had run out on the lawnmower. So I had to put the lawnmower and everything away in the garage, which meant I used my keys, because that's where my garage key is. And so my husband says, "Where's the keys?" And I've said, "On the sofa." And he's hunted and he couldn't find them. I've hunted, I couldn't find them. I ended up spending around 2 hours deep cleaning the lounge, moving, lifting and checking everywhere for it. I've then moved into the kitchen and gutted the kitchen, gutted the hall, gone through all handbags, all coats, anywhere where these keys could be. And during this time, hubby's taken Liam for a walk, so he wasn't getting in my way. And when he got back, I still couldn't find my keys. I had gone top and bottom of the house. The whole place was looking immaculate. And I was starting to think he'd probably put them in his pocket and taken them with him, because he'd seen how hectic I was being and how methodical I was being with the cleaning. Because I wouldn't put nothing past him. I love him to bits, but he's as cantankerous as a git. Well, anyway, all of a sudden he's out in the garden. He's like, "Have you checked the garden? Because it might have fallen out your pocket." So I said, "Yes, darling. I've walked backwards and forwards up the grass, on the grass. I've checked in the borders." And all of a sudden he's just gone, "Ange, did you check up by where Liam's splash pool is?" I said, "Well, no, why?" He's gone, "Because I've got them." And I was just like, "Oh, you're joking." basically what had happened was, when I was mowing the front of the garden, I hadn't bothered putting on shoes. So of course when I've come back through the garden, I've got fluorescent green feet and lots of grass and stuff stuck to my feet. So I've washed them off in Liam's splash pool and then cleaned his splash pool. But what I'd done is put the keys to one side so I didn't drop them in any water, and promptly left them there overnight. Luckily we've got good neighbours and security cameras, so no one would have come in the garden. But that's where the keys were. So of course, and yesterday was Friday was an absolute bust. Didn't really get anything done apart from the house completely cleaned. And this room, I finally cleared that part of the table so I can start doing tutorials again. Oh, why did I just tell you that? Right, okay, I am now going to be starting as of tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. I'm going to be starting on next month's cow, which again is a blanket. It is a corner to corner blanket, so it means that left hand and right handed crocheters can follow along with ease. Yay! And the colours that you will be needing this time round are a white or an off-white. You're going to need a small amount of a very pastel pink, a light blue, not too light though, but a nice blue, a nice shade of green, a grey, and a brown. Any ideas what it can be? Guess down below in the comments section. Once I've finished the videos, I'll be able to then tell you exactly how much of each yarn you're going to need to complete your project. So keep an eye out later on this month, because what I will do is I will be popping it up on a stand, possibly here or on this side of the room, so that you can actually see it in all its glory and all done. I'm nicking my daughter's painting easel, and I'm going to have to find go out and buy a canvas that will be big enough for me to pin it onto. Wish me luck. I've got to go shopping again. The good old mystery cow. Well, the mystery cow that I was speaking about in this video was actually Max the koala. Now, he sometimes ends up on the back here where the penguin is at the moment. Okay, and I still haven't tied in my ends. It's been about a year, isn't it? I'm coming up to. But here it is. Here is a Max koala. The pattern is available over on the Ravelry shop. Right, so let's cheekily show you Max again. For anybody that has seen him before, that's it again. And for anybody else that hasn't, it is here you go, here's Max. So there we go, that is a Max the koala there. And as I said, the written pattern is available over on the Ravelry shop now. There is a tutorial up as well on the channel, but that only gives you the Max pattern. That doesn't give you the details on the border. Okay, the border and stuff is the extra bits that I pop in on the written pattern. Right, let's go and see what else I was chatting about. Right, that is it for me for today. So if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe, and ta-ra for now, everybody. And now it's time for the next video, and now this one, of course, I'm only giving you the first 2 to 3 minutes of, because it is the Big and Little Crochet Creative Crochet Projects books. Now this one is for the books 26 to 30, so I'm going to show you the front covers, and of course I'll pop a link up here to the original video so that if there's anything that interests you, you can go over and have a proper look. Aha, so you're back for more inspiration, are you? Right, so let's have a nose at what these books are called, and then we'll have a nose inside and see what the patterns are like. Right, so book number 26 is in fact Arigurumi, and as you know, last week I did tease you a little bit with the very last book that I showed. Right, and then number 27 is called Black and White. Number 28 is called A Jump into Spring. Oh, I'm speeding through these a bit quick. I think I want to get to see what's in there as well, you know. 29 is Bags and Satchels. And number 30 is Easter Crochet. Right, so right, that is it for me for today. I hope you've enjoyed looking back at these two dodgy videos. Right, I'm gonna head off now. I will see you all really soon, so if you can, please stay in, definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody.